Imagine you're sitting with your partner trying to talk about something that means a lot to you. Maybe it's a situation with that woman from HR who's always making passive aggressive comments. There's always one. Maybe you're excited to start a new diet, and before you've even finished your sentence, your partner's laughing it off. Oh, like that time you were gonna hit the gym 3 times a week, and you wanna get up and smack them upside the head. But instead you're thinking, why do my words never land? Why does nothing I say seem to matter? And it dawns on you that the person that says they love you, the person who's out here in the trenches, they don't take you seriously. Well, today we're gonna dive into how this happens. I'm Sam, and this is The Connection Room. When people burden me with their problems and say my partner doesn't take me seriously, it's often presented as a respect issue, as if their partner wakes up every morning and thinks, how can I make my missus feel invisible today? And whilst I'm not willing to go on record and say it doesn't happen, it almost never is the case. The brutal truth is that you brought it on yourself. Being inconsiderate isn't an overnight phenomenon. You teach your partner how to do it. The first time they made a joke at your expense and you let it slide. That time you expressed something that was important to you, but you walked it back because you didn't want any conflict. The boundaries you stated but then folded on. Over time, these concessions create a pattern, and that pattern sends the message, your seriousness isn't serious. So even when something means the world to you, it's treated as if it's something trivial and mundane. Now, my mum and dad used to say this in relation to parenting, but being with someone for 15 years will teach you that partners respond to what you consistently do, not what you consistently say. Because every time you bring up something only to back down again, you're teaching your other half, this probably won't matter tomorrow. If your friend did the same thing to you, would you take them seriously? So of course, your husband or your wife begins to dismiss your requests because you don't take them seriously enough to stand by them. You think it's cruelty, but it's actually conditioning. Back a day when this beard was less grey, I had just come out of a relationship and I didn't want to go into anything serious. So I told women that I spoke to that I wasn't interested in a serious relationship. And if they tried to push for more, I told them no and reminded them that that's not what I was offering. Did it feel awkward? Yeah. Did some women cool things with me after that? Yeah. But I upheld my boundaries, and more importantly, anyone that I was seeing during that period of my life knew what they were getting. Because a lot of the time we are unintentionally teaching people how to treat us. Not through grand speeches like this one, but through consistently backing our boundaries. If you want your partner to take you seriously, you must get used to adding some weight to what is important to you. Now, let me kick some truth. A lot of us are conflict avoiders. I don't care what you see on social media or how many people front like they're ready for a showdown no matter the opponent. Conflict is deeply uncomfortable. And here in the UK, you get taught to master phrases like, that's quite all right, or that's no problem, and don't worry about it, and my bad. Even though it's not all right, it is a problem and you should worry about it because it definitely isn't my bad. But we don't want to seem dramatic or be the one seen to be making a big deal. But what's the cost? See, when you treat your pain and your aspirations as small and unimportant, your partner learns that they can also treat it as if it's small too. If you spend your life acting like something doesn't matter, people believe you, even the people who love you. So here's a part that people don't like hearing. I pretty much alluded to it in the opening. Your partner doesn't take you seriously because you stop taking yourself seriously. And in an attempt to wrestle it back, you try to use intensity. You raise your voice because you can't hold your boundaries. You repeat yourself because you don't make lasting changes. If you feel ignored, it's because your relationship has learned to overlook the things that you don't stand behind. And I know this feels like a dressing down, but it's not your fault. You're not intentionally trying to make your wife or your husband diminish you. This is a natural result of human beings following patterns. But the good thing about patterns is that they can change with a little consistency. So let's talk about how we can shift the dynamic. Firstly, speak with some clarity and not emotion. Now, emotions are fine and we all have them, but when we're looking to resolve problem areas, they often come across unclear and accusatory. So strip back the emotion and give your partner something tangible to work with. Saying things like, "you never listen," feels like it's getting something off your chest. But what the hell can your partner do with that information? Instead, give them insight. When I bring something up and you brush it aside, it makes me feel like I'm not important. And I don't want us to fall into this type of relationship. Now your partner has a lot more information to go over, and it sounds like an invitation to sort a pain point and not a court summon to hear all the ways that they failed as a partner. Secondly, stop softening the truth. If you're big enough to be in a long-term relationship or a marriage, you have to get used to telling the truth. When something matters to you, express it with the weight and gravity that it deserves. When you think something in the relationship needs to change, bring it to the table. A relationship should be something that you actively participate in and not something that just happens to you. Thirdly, be consistent and leave the drama for EastEnders. You don't have to level threats and ultimatums to get your point across. They don't matter anyway, because the most important thing is that you follow through. People take consistency seriously because consistency is dependable and predictable. In fact, it is the basis of all pattern building. So if you want to see changes in your relationship, be consistent. Lastly, find a signal. We all know what it feels like when we hear the lines, "we need to talk." It's a phrase that has a reputation for impending doom and has the ability to totally shift a mood. Sometimes our relationships need something similar, a phrase that lets our partner know that the conversation is being shifted into a more serious and weighty conversation. Something like, "I need a few minutes of your time," or "I have something I really need to discuss with you." These acts are a clear shifting of mood and can help you shift into a place where you feel more comfortable having conversations of a more serious nature. See, you don't become a side character because of one big moment. Your respectability fades because of 100 tiny moments where you stop standing on business. But unfortunately for us, things don't heal in one big moment either. It takes shifts in boundaries, making the commitment to take your life and the things that matter to you seriously. Respect grows when there's space for clarity and consistency. When you show up with the strength to hold your boundaries and the calmness to explain why they matter, your spouse will start to see you differently. And eventually that feeling of being invisible slowly melts away and something powerful emerges. You become a person who knows the significance of their aspirations, their pain points, and the importance they bring to their relationship. This marriage stuff ain't for the faint-hearted, trust me. But if you put the work in, there isn't much that comes close to a fulfilling relationship. If you want more videos delving into topics like this, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe button. It's free and it means you might see a whole lot more of me. I'm Sam, and until the next time, make some room.